Hey everybody, Marco here, and welcome to another session of Nurikabe World. In the last episode, we did the entire pack of intro levels. So in the campaign, we did all 80 of the first level here in an hour. It featured a lot of tutorials for fairly introductory level Nurikabe mechanics. I sort of already knew these, so I kind of breezed through them, but I thought it was a very nice tutorial for anyone just getting the hang of things. And now we'll go to some more, still beginner, but slightly intermediate levels here, which will apply these mechanics. Alright, let's get things started here. We have a bunch of ones. These will all be surrounded. And we gotta shade in unreachable cells as well. There's this little thing here which needs to connect the water from the top to the bottom. These dead ends need to go out. This bit here is going to flip-flop between these, so this is always going to be water. This is unreachable. This needs to not be a 2x2 pool. This is separated. We're never going to reach this spot, and this spot needs to be covered for it not to be a pool. These spots are never going to be reached. We need this, and then we need the water to connect to the rest. There's the top half. This bit here needs to connect to the bottom. This 3 is going to flip-flop between these two cells, so it's not going here. It's definitely going down one more. This is filled. This 4, if it reaches over here, it blocks the water, so this is water. I don't think this can be water, because if it is, all of this will be water and the 4 is locked in. So we either have the 4 going one over here or one over here. But yeah, this bit of water needs to connect up, which resolves that. And there we go. That is the first puzzle of this set. Complexity again. Alright, first things first, we got our ones. This 5 is going to go out 2 spaces. This bit of water needs to connect. These have to be separated. This thing here is never going to be filled in, and we need to do this to avoid the pond. Now the 5 goes out like so. This bit of water here needing to connect. One's blocked in here. These bits are unreachable. And that's it, actually. This 5 is just solves itself, sorta. Ring world. Alright, we get our donut here, I guess, and we have a whole bunch of ones which we're going to fill in. Start with. These cells over here are unreachable. This 2 is solved because it has to prevent the pools. This cell is unshaded and it connects to the 3. The 4 and the 3 need to be separated. This part here cannot be reached. We have the 2. This cell here cannot be reached, so the 3 needs to connect to this. And now we just need to make sure everything connects, all the bits of water. This part here on the edge needs to get out here. I don't think we can make a water connection on the bottom left, so we need to make the connection up top, over here and down here. Right, and now this is 8 spaces, but we have an area of 7, so we just need to connect this bit of water with this bit over here. Very nice. Jump pad. Alright. We have our 1 and our 2 here. Our 1 and our 3. This is going to flip-flop here, so this is water. These are water as well. The 2 is solved. The 3 is solved. 4 and the 2 here are separated. This bit of water needs to go out, which resolves the 4. This bit is land. This connects to the 5, like so. The 5 has to take one of these cells, otherwise a pool happens here. 3 goes down, and to the right, avoiding this 4. This bit of water has to connect to the rest. Yeah, if the 3 goes up here, this is bad, because it blocks in the water on the left side. And now we just need to connect everything. So this bit of water here needs to connect up. That gives us the 4 and the 5. And we just need one more bit of water to make this a 3. Nice. You shall not pass. Okay. We have a bunch of 1s here to start with again. This 3 goes up. It flip-flops between these cells. Yeah, we're just separating numbers here. This bit of water needs to go down to connect to the rest, which isolates the 2. This 5 here takes almost everything, but this bit of water needs to connect, so we have this, and we need to connect the water to the rest. Okay, now this bit of water here is isolated because it can't go to the right, can't go up through this 4-1 diagonal, so it goes up this way to connect to the rest. We have a whole bunch of cells here which are unreachable, and we resolve the 2s by making it so that no pools form. Okay, this bit of water needs to connect to the rest, and that's the only way it can do it while still maintaining the 5. And now we need to connect this bit on the right to the rest. So it's got to go through here. This is a 4, this is a 3. And there we go. Symmetry breaker. Okay, there's a 1 and a 2 here, which are asymmetric, and the rest is symmetric. That gives us a bunch of unreachable cells here. This cell needs to be filled in to avoid a pool. This cell is going to be shaded either way with a flip-flop of the 2. This cell is unreachable, so the 2s have to go this way to prevent pools from forming. And there we go. Same sort of logic cascading down here. Broken symmetry. Well, there's no symmetry here at all. What the heck is going on? 2 is resolved here. This 2 is resolved just because of the zigzag pattern here. There's a B in my room. Okay, it's outside the window. We have our 4. Needs to take this to avoid a pool forming. This 4, I don't think it can go to this space, because if it does, then we sort of have this bit of water here isolated, so this goes down. This bit of water needs to connect, making the 2 go up. This 2 goes up. This bit of water goes around. Oh, huh. Okay. So the clues were not symmetric, but the resulting grid is symmetric. That's pretty neat. Double helix. We have our bit of water here separating the 3s, giving us this initial 3. This one, these have to be filled in. Here's a bunch of cells which can't be reached by anything. Here as well. That means the 2 has to go down, this 3 has to go down, these 3s have to go out, like so. These 3s are separated, and they continue to be separated over here. They flip-flop in these positions. And, okay, 3 can't reach here or here. That makes the 2 go up. This 3 goes up, this 3 goes down to fill this 2x2. And now this 3 goes up either way. This bit of water needs to go down to connect to the rest of the water. Count to 6. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clues. Well, these have to be separated to start. The 2 is also resolved. 3, 4, 5. These zigzags, so we have to place these accordingly. 4 and the 6 have to be separated. This water needs to connect these, but if we do water here, we also do water here, which is bad. So the 4 has to go down. We end up having the 5 go up here. Now these 2 bits of water need to connect, but there's nothing on the outside, I believe, so we do have a giant water wall connecting all these, and all these cells here need to be unshaded. Only one way to do that is this. Circumference. Let's see here. We got a bunch of zigzags here at the start. The 6 needs to go out. This 5 needs to go out. This bit of water needs to connect this as well. And there we have our 5. This bit of water needs to connect to the rest through this straight here, giving us our 6. This 3 is complete. This 3 here. is still vague. This 3 can't go up because this bit of water needs to go through this passage here to connect to the rest. 3 flip-flops in these positions. This bit of water needs to connect, giving us this spot here. Anti-pool, I guess. This 5 goes down. It flip-flops between these positions, but if it goes here, it blocks off the 4. So the 5 ends up going here. We have our 5 and our 3 complete. These bits of water need to go down to connect. And we have everything being resolved pretty nicely here. Wow, okay, this bit took a little bit longer than the previous stuff. We're at 10 minutes already. Let's keep going and see how far we get. I'm thinking let's do half maybe, or 4 or 5 worlds in this video. 2's corner. Okay, we've sort of got the flip-flop argument here being made more clearly now. So if the 2 has to go up or to the right here, this top right corner has to be water. This 2 flip-flops between these spots, this has to be water. This 2 flip-flops between these spots, this has to be water. And also, more specifically, it can't go to this spot because it would lock in the 5. So we sort of have this going on here. And this 5 flip-flops between these spots, so this has to be water. This spot is unreachable, this spot as well, giving us our 2. This bit needs to connect. Why is this in Among Us? Anyways. 2 special. 1s are isolated there, these bits of water need to connect. This is unreachable, so we've got our 2 here. Let's apply this deduction we just had here to make these cells water cells. We get this 2 all figured out. These cells over here are all unreachable, which gives us our 2's on the bottom. And this resolves the 2's on the top. We just have to make sure no pools form. Number soup. Okay. 1 is given here. 2, this has to be shaded. 3, 5, these are in a diagonal, which means the 5 is going to go out this way. 1 has everything around it. These 2 bits are unreachable by this 4, which means the 4 has to take these to make sure no pools form. 3 can't take this. Can't take this. The 3 can only go down 1. It has to go up here, which resolves the 3 and the 2. This bit of water needs to go up to connect to the rest, which resolves the 2 over here. And the 5 gets resolved as well. It needs to go up here to make sure no pools form. To not split the bottom and the top, we have this water connection and this water connection. Leapfrog. 1, we need to isolate the 1s here. We have a bunch of cells which can't be reached. That gives us this 2 as well as this 2. Now we just have the 4. This bit of water needs to connect to the rest. Okay, that was actually just it. This one felt a bit out of place in this here. Pool corner. Okay, yeah, we've used this bit here as well. When 3 tiles of a pool are exposed, the last tile must be land. But yeah, it's nice to state it a little bit more clearly here. Yeah, we just ended up with 2 corners in these spots, and those had to connect to the 3 and the 8 respectively. Who done it? Alright, we get our 1 and our 3 here. This bit is going to be land for sure because of this corner, and that needs to connect to the 5. And there we have our 4 as well. Identity matrix. Okay, we sort of get this pattern with X's here. These cells all need to be land, and this cell here can only connect to this 5. This cell here has to be land as well, so we've got this pattern going on, and this cell needs to connect to this 5. And for this bit of water here to connect to the rest, we resolve this 5 like so. Low. Alright, first things first are 1s. This 2 is, There's only one way that can go. The 4 goes up here. This bit of water needs to connect to the rest. We've got our 2 solved over there. This bit of water goes out. This bit of water here now needs to connect to the rest while going around the 4, giving us this shape here. And now we've got a corner which resolves the 3. Let's keep going here. That's the second group done. And now focus. What's this gonna mean? Alright, no new mechanics so far. We've just got these 1s. These 2s and 3s, only one way these can go. 3 has to resolve like so. 2s get separated. That part on the left is done. And now let's see what we have on the right here. These bits are going to be unreachable, I think, from the 2s and the 3s. We get these cells. We cannot unshade this cell because that makes an area that's too big for this 3. So these go to 2 separate 3s. Now this bit of water needs to connect to the rest, giving us this 5. And we just fill in the rest. With hole. Okay. Right. Splitting up this 3 and the 3 gives us the 3. Splitting up this 1 and the 5 gives us both, actually. This 3 here can't go 2 over on the right, so it has to go up 1. This 3 goes up 1 as well and flip-flops like so. Nothing reaches this space, nothing reaches this space. Nothing reaches any of these spaces, so the 2 is resolved. This 3 goes down, and we just make sure to prevent the pool corners. I guess that's what they said, right? I missed the title of this one, but whatever. We have a bunch of unreachable cells here and here. This 2 has to go down now. This 3 has to take this cell. This cell here is unreachable. Now, okay, this cell here is unreachable by the 2 and the 3. Whoops. So we end up having to fill in these corners. This bit of water needs to connect to the rest. This 3 is going to go up and to the left, so it can't go to any of these cells down here, which gives us our 2. That gives us this 3. And just to fill in one last corner, we end up resolving the rest. Snail. Okay, this is going to be one weird water pattern here because anything, if all the water is connected, then it's going to sort of spiral because the path that the water can go is very narrow. So we've got our 2, we've got our 3 here. This bit of water needs to connect to the entire rest. 2 needs to go this way to avoid the 2x2s from forming. It needs to go through this spot because if this happens here, it's a diagonal wall. This as well here. We have to make sure this is not blocked off. This 3 can go to the right or down. Either way, this cell is taken, which gives us the direction for these 2s. This goes down. 3 goes this way. This water connection has to happen here to go to the bottom part, which gives us our 2. This 2 flip-flops here, giving us sort of resolving itself by making a pool. We need to go above the 4, get to the rest here. And this is the only way to avoid pools. And there we go. We just need 2 more water cells to turn the 6 into a 4. Intermission. Sure, okay. We've got a whole bunch of diagonal connections here, which we can separate with water. And now we need to expand the regions to their normal sizes. Also, we can do a bunch of these things here, and we need to connect the water to the rest. None of these cells are going to be reachable by the 2, so we can resolve that. None of these cells are going to be reachable, so that resolves this 2, and this 3 as well. No pools. This 3 goes down here. This 2 goes up. This bit of water needs to connect to the rest. 2 can't flip-flop. These cells are unreachable, so we have the 2 resolving that way. And now this bit of water here. Let's see. I don't think the 3 can go like so, because that means that these cells will be unreachable and a pool will form. So this cell is shaded, this is unshaded. Now this water connection needs to happen up top, and that resolves the 3s at the bottom. Nice. This one is simply called yes. Alright, sure. So there's a lot of blank area, which makes me think we just need to fill in stuff that cannot be reached. So around the outside, things that can't be reached by the 3s. This one goes to about here. This one still can be reached, but this can't, this can't, this can't. We start with this cell, which has to connect to this 3. This cell has to be reached because if it doesn't, then this is also water. This cell has to be reached, and that connects to this 3 over here. This cell can't be water because then these will be water, because they are not part of an island. Okay, I sort of have an idea of what this resulting shape is going to be, but let's try to do this logically here. This 3 needs to reach something in this 2x2, as well as this 2x2 to prevent pools from forming, so we have to do this. We sort of have the same thing going up at the top, where this 3 needs something in this 2x2 and this 2x2 as well. So we have this resolution. This cell here is unreachable, this one is unreachable, that forms 2 more spaces which need to be reached. And these spaces are unreachable now. This one as well. And this 3 needs to fill in something in this 2x2 and this 2x2, so we just end up with a bunch of straight lines. Sure, why not? Dilly-dally. Okay, this 5 is sort of given to us immediately here. These 4s... Okay, if the 4s connect like this, that's bad because this bit of water here is isolated on the left side, so... There's definitely water here, and it goes down 2 more to give us the 4. This bit of water needs to connect to the rest. These 3s have to be separated. This 3 here flip-flops like so. This is water. This 3 goes out, giving us this 4. This bit of water needs to connect. The 4 here resolves. These 3s resolve. Now this bit of water at the bottom needs to connect to the top, giving us this 3. The 4 can go either way like so. Guess this cell over here... Yeah, these can't be reached by anything, meaning this 3 has to go like this to just make sure that no pools form. This cell here can't be reached, so the 3 has to go like this. 6 has to take these to make sure we don't have a pool alongside the top. Now the 6 can only take 1 more cell, the 4 can only take 1 more cell. How does the rest resolve? I don't think this 4 can go here, because if it does, then the 4 below it is limited to 3 cells. So this cell here is unreachable. That gives us this 4 resolution. This 6 has to take 1 of these. So this, to prevent this pool here, so this is water. I think this bit of water here needs to connect to the rest through this cell, because if it doesn't, then this is connected to the 4, and that isolates this bit here. This bit of water needs to connect. We have this 2x2 resolved, and there we go. Just take 1 more cell here. Ghosting. Oh nice, it's the Pac-Man ghost. We sort of have the bottom given to us here, and this 3 goes down to make sure to fill in that empty space. These bits of water need to connect. These ones are sort of resolved here. We've got the 3-4 and the 3-5 here, and this 3-2 and the 3-4 on diagonals. So those have to be separated. These bits of water need to go out. This 2 as well. This 4 is done. This 3 can't reach the spot, so we have to cover that with water. What else? The spot is unreachable. We have some more unreachable spots here. Okay, these are just barely reachable by the 5, but I'm going to say the 5 does need to reach this spot, because if this is water, this is also water. So we have this 5 going up like so. This 3 goes up 1, and now we have this diagonal wall here, which I don't think this or this can be shaded, so water needs to go through here. This bit of water needs to connect to the rest going down. That gives us our 4. 3 and 2 are going to resolve, and this 5 is going to take one last cell down here. Okay, we get Crossroads and we get challenge level. Let's do the challenge levels. Afterthought. First we get waveform. Oh yeah, this cell here is unreachable, but then it has to connect to the rest. That gives us this 2 here. This 4 needs to connect to the rest as well. It's always these corners here. If they are too far to, I mean, not corners, rather dead ends. If they are too far, how do I say this? If they are too far from numbers, they have to be water, but then they need to go back to connect to a number. So this 4 needs to take something in this 2x2 as well as this 2x2, I believe. So we have to go here, and then we have to take one of these, and we do it this way so the water can still go through. Alright, next one, narrow adventure. This one is indeed very narrow. 4 goes up. 4 goes up more. The water needs to connect from the left to the right side. Only one way to fill in this 4 over here now. This 2 flip-flops down and to the right. This 4 definitely needs to go up. Oh, but now there's a diagonal wall forming here, so this part here needs to be water for the left and right sides to connect. These bits here are unreachable. I do believe the 5 can't go up to this spot here, because that means this entire rest will be water. So this is water, giving us this 2 resolution. This 5 goes in one of these spots. This 4 definitely goes up here. And that gives us the rest here. Now, if the 2 goes down here, this 5 is going to go over here, which creates this diagonal wall. So we have this other way of solving things. And that's a connection from the left to the right side. And we sort of have the same thing going on here, where we need some sort of river connection here. But also, this entire bit can't be river. Some part of it has to be land so that we don't have a 2x2. 5 over here is restricted to the top. 4, this one's given here. This 3 and this 4. These cells are unreachable, but this needs to be land now. It can connect to either this 4 or this 4, but if it goes to this 4, then we have this bit of water here being isolated. So we end up with this. This bit of water needs to connect to the other water along the edge, and that's the left side. Now we have our left to right connection. We also have this 4 going into the bridge. And now we just need to connect the bit of water here to this water going around the edge. I think it has to definitely go around this 4, but then have this 4 on the outside. So that's the only way we can get that done. Maths. Okay, we've got pluses, minuses, times, I guess. Those are holes in the grid here. This is going to be a lot, so let's just get the 1s out of the way. I thought something was on my screen for a second, but it was just the leaf effects floating around. Got a bunch of unreachable cells here. Oh, a lot of unreachable cells in this big middle. That resolves these 2s. This 3 also needs to go over here to prevent this pool from forming. This bit of water needs to connect to the rest, giving us this 2. We have a big 10 over down here. All of these are unreachable. This 2 is resolved. Now we've got 2 and 3 up top. This bit here needs to be filled in by this 3. This is all unreachable. This as well. This as well. This 3 needs to go over here. This 2 needs to go over here. Nothing can reach this spot, and this spot can only be reached by this 5. Got the 3. Okay, now we just got left and right sides. All this water is connected, so we don't have to worry about any connection weirdness. None of this is reachable, so 2 goes over, whoops, 2 goes over here. This is 11 spots, so we do this here to connect this bit while still keeping 10. What else do we have here to finish this bit off? Okay, this spot on the left goes up to connect the water. This 3 flip-flops. This 5 here definitely has to go up 2, because if this cell here is water, there's no, not enough space. That resolves the 2 and the 3. I guess this spot is not reachable, so we have our 5 going here, and this spot needs to be covered by the 4. Alright. Large level, but doable with the deductions we learned so far. These spots are not reachable by this 2 here, so that resolves the 2. These spots are all not reachable, so we just make sure the 2s cover the pools. These spots are not reachable, so the 2 resolves this way. This 3 is restricted by the positions of the 6 and the 2 here, so we can only make the 3 this way here. This 2 goes out. This bit of water needs to connect to the rest of the water. This bit goes out to connect to the rest. They're giving us this 4. And the 4 needs to go out 1 this way, but then the water needs to go in between. So we've got the 6. This 6 needs to take 3 more cells, and this 3 up top needs to take 2 more. And we have to do this while connecting the left side to the right side. I see it, but I'm not sure how exactly to do it, or to justify it. Okay, so first of all, this bit of water needs 1 more. Otherwise, if this is land, then we have our diagonal cut off. if the 3 goes down here, the water bridge needs to happen somewhere over here, and that makes the 6 impossible, so the 3 goes up above. That means the water bridge happens down in this spot, and the 6 takes as much space as it needs. Ley lines, alright. Let's see over here. Let's start with our 1s. None of this space can be taken up here, so that's where the 2, because of this 2 here. 2 flip-flops, so we can make this here water. We can make these spots water. This spot needs to go out. Oh yeah, none of this thing at the bottom can be water because it's blocked by this 8. So we actually have the 8 like this. If the 2 goes down, that isolates a bit of water here, so it does not do that. It can still go either way there, though. Oh, if this is water, it needs to connect to the rest of the water that isolates the 4. So this spot here is land, and we have our 4 going up like so. 2 is resolved. 5 needs to go out at least 1 more. This bit of water needs to go out at least 1. This bit over here cannot be land because it can't connect to a number. This is water, and it needs to go through this gap here. This is all also water, but it can... No, it can't connect down here. This bit of water needs to go up to connect to the rest of the water. This 4 is restricted. This bit of water needs to go out here. All of this is water as well. And what else do we have? All of this is water because it can't be reached by numbers. This corner spot here needs to be taken by the 3 to make sure no pools form. As for the rest, this spot is unreachable, but that tells us nothing here. Okay, this bit of water here can't connect to the rest through this 5 up above. So it goes like so. And what else? Okay, here's a weird thing. This 3 over here, it takes this cell or this cell, which means we can't have a water connection happen between, I guess you'd say, the lower left and the upper right sides of the grid through this spot here. It also can't happen through this spot here. This spot here, the 3 blocks it. This spot here, there's no land connection, so the water connection has to happen over here. That is kind of a far spot. But yeah, this is how we connect the water between the lower left side and the upper right side. Let's see here. The 5 needs to go down at least 1 to prevent this from being a 2x2. This water needs to take the spot to connect, so the 5 takes 1 more. And now the 5 can only take 1 more, so this spot here is unreachable. I like this level, this one's cool. This spot here, if the 4 takes this, then we have the water separated between the halves. So this spot here is water, this is land, and it connects to the 3. If this is water, same sort of thing happens, so this is land. The water connection happens between the 5 and the 4. That gives us 2 more pools that we have to stop. And there we go. It's all coming together. Just need to prevent this last pool here and connect this last bit of water, and we're complete. That's nice. Displace. We have a whole bunch of very low numbers here. I'm just gonna see if I can breeze through this. I don't quite see any deductions that are quite hard yet. It's mostly the ones we did before. A few unreachable cells in these spots. This 4 has to go 2 cells up. It can only take 1 cell to the left. That resolves this 2. And, okay, this lower bit is a bit tougher. Okay, we have a separation over here. So we can't separate this because that makes it a big line from left to right. If we go over here, that means the 4 will go over here and we have a similar effect. So the water connection happens like this. That resolves the 3s. This part here needs to connect, and now we just need to make sure that the 4 and the 3 resolve properly. There we go. That's the only way to make no pools happen down there. Interlinked. That covers the 1s. If this 3 goes down here, we have water that can't be connected, so we resolve the 3 like this. This 3 has to go down, this 4 has to go down as well. This water separates the 4. I'm losing my voice. I need to make sure to have water prepared for future recording sessions. Anyways, we have a bunch of unreachable cells in these spots as well. Two resolves like so, this 2 resolves, this spot is unreachable here, this 2 resolves. We can't have the 3 go this way, otherwise the top area will be isolated. Okay, now we have all the water on the right side connected. This 2 goes out. This goes out as well. One more bit of water into the 4. This water here to connect, to keep connecting stuff from the left to the right. If we make the cell land, it connects to this 4 and separates this little T from the rest, so this is water. That resolves this 4, and now we just need to fill in the rest so that this is only a 3 island. Nice. Roy G. Biv. Oh, it's a rainbow. Okay, and we've got 7s in the middle. That's appropriate. 1s on the outside. These have to be covered like so. And now we just need, I guess we just have reachability arguments now. We need something in this 2x2 to make sure no pools happen. That has to connect this 7 over here. Needs to go down like this. If it goes down like this, then we end up having a pool over here, so we need the connection to happen like this to make sure no pools occur. This is water here to connect this bit to the rest. We need to connect this to the 7. And now the water needs to go up and above. I think it does have to hug the edge of the grid here because nothing can be on the outside of it anymore. So we have this connection happen here. That gives us this 7. This 7 needs to take these 6 spots so that no pools happen here. And this 7 up below isolates it. And there we go. One more, and we finished. Reaching to the sky. These ones isolate this area here. You have these spots in between these 3s. Whoops, these ones are isolated as well. This bit of land here can't connect to the 2. I believe it needs to connect to the 9. That's the only number that can take these. just resolving our 3s at the bottom here. These bits of water need to connect to the rest. I think this bit here is unreachable as well as this, because we only have 4s and 3s down in this lower half. This bit here needs to be land. I think that can only connect to this 4, which means this bit of land connects to this 4. Unreachable bit here, unreachable here. Now we have 2 more bits of land that need to connect to these 4s. Because this bit goes down here, the 4 can't extend to this point. That gets taken by the 3. This spot here can't be reached, so this 4 goes like this to cover space. This bit of water goes up. I should have done that a bit earlier, but it is what it is. This can't be reached, so the 2 goes down to prevent pools. This 4 goes to the right. We end up resolving the 3s down here. Only a little bit of spaces that the 4s can go here. And now we just need to finish the 9 and the 7. Well, the 7's got 8 spaces here. And this bit of water here is isolated, needs this spot here. And we've got this bit of isolated water which needs to connect over here. I think the 9 needs to cover this space here to prevent pools, and then we have 9 definite spaces, so we fill the rest with water. Done. That's finished. Alright. I think we have enough time for one more area here. Let's do the Crossroads, and that's going to be the end of this video. So, where do we start here? Alright, oh, that's a nice Aurora Borealis in the background. A lot of this upper area here is going to be unreachable. So this spot here has to get taken by the 5. It needs to go across like so. And then either this or this spot. That means this 3 goes out 1. This 2 has to go up here to prevent the 2x2 from forming. This bit of water needs to go down to connect to the rest. We end up with this unreachable cell, as well as this unreachable cell. I don't think this cell here gets taken by the 4, because if it does, then it leaves all this space here open. So this here is not occupied. And if we shade, or if this cell here is water, then the 4 can't reach any of these cells, so that also makes a pool. So I think the 4 needs 1 cell in these positions to prevent this pool, and 1 cell over here to prevent this pool. That's still a lot of places it could go. Let's see the rest here. This bit of water needs to connect to the rest. Should have done that first. And that resolves the rest by the look ahead we just did. Floor plan. Let's see over here. Okay, we've got some water which needs to connect to the rest through the top. Needs to go between the 3 and the 4 like so. This 3 is caged in by the water. This 4 has to hug the side. 3 can't reach this spot, but that creates a possible pool. These spots need to be covered by the 6. This bit here is water so that the connection happens. This water needs to connect to the rest. 2 gets resolved. This 2 has to go up either way. Now we have this spot here, which the 7 needs to reach. And then the water connection happens through here. Alright, very cool. Heart. Aw. Yep, we just solved this bit here with our 2 flip-flops and a bunch of spaces that no water can reach. This one as well. Here's another 2 flip-flop. blocking off this space, giving us the 2 and the 3. The spot here needs to be taken by this 3, which means the 2 has to go down. The spot gets taken by the 4. Now this bit of water here is isolated if we block this off up top, so the 3 goes down. Okay, this spot here needs to be taken by the 3. This spot here needs to be taken by the 4 to prevent a pool from forming in this location. And we're almost done. Just need a little bit more. I think these spots here are all filled in. If this is not filled in, we have... Oh, okay, this is fine, actually. So sometimes this just happens where we have multiple cases and we just take one. I've just noticed I've been sinking lower and lower on the webcam. Heart broken. Oh no. Okay, we need the water to connect between the left and right sides of the broken heart, so that happens through this canal here. It's frozen too, this is so sad. This connection happens here, the 5 and the 2 are separated. Here, that's the only way to resolve the right side. Let's see here. This cell is unreachable, which means this has to be filled in. But now this part here forms a possible dangerous 2x2. One of these spots need to be reached, and the only way to do that is by like so. That gives us this 4. This bit of water needs to connect, and there we go. Alien language. Okay, we just got a bunch of dots in the center. Ones get resolved like this. Water needs to go down here to connect. I can already tell this connection bit is going to be rough. This bit here can't be reached, as well as this. The 4 needs to go at least 1 to the right, because if those are blocked, then a pool forms. All of this here is unreachable, so the 3 has to make sure no pools form. These bits here are unreachable as well, so we end up moving the 2 and the 4 to the left as well. Now this bit of water has to go up to connect to the rest. This bit of water needs to go to the right. This 2 flip-flops between these spaces. The 3 needs to go 1 to the right. And none of this here is reachable by numbers, so we just prevent pools. And we've got this bit figured out. These cells here are not reachable. 2 goes down like so. This part here has to be land, and it needs to connect to the 4, so all the rest is water. Only one way to resolve that. This 3 flip-flops between these spaces. 4 only has 1 more space, so the rest is filled in. And we just gotta make sure no pools form. I don't quite get the theme of that, but it was neat. This bit of water here needs to connect to the rest of the grid. This 4 is maximal, these 2s are... we can figure those out. This bit of water needs to connect to the rest as well as this. So we have our 5 here and our 3 up above. This 5 is maximal here. Okay, that one was a little bit shorter. 2 more, I think. Which way? 1s, we fill those in. This 3 goes over here. This 3 flip-flops. This connects to the 4, which means all of this is water. This cell cannot be reached anymore. This 3 goes this way, this 4 goes this way. We fill in the 1. 2 has to go down here because this bit isolates water. Whoops. 3 goes up top because that's the only way this water escapes. This 2 flip-flops. This 4 has to go here. If the 4 goes here, then there's going to be water in this spot because the 4 can't reach that. So we go this way. This bit of water needs to connect to the rest. these bits of water need to connect, and we just... Okay, nothing can reach this spot anymore, and now these bits of water need to connect. Last one. Climbing the tower. We got our 1 here, our 1 here. This 5 goes up. This bit of water needs to connect to the rest. This 6 goes up here. We keep having to connect these bits of water to the rest. This 4 flip-flops between these 2 spaces now to take the last field, so... This 4 goes out. This 2 goes over here. And now we need to connect this 4 sort of... This bit of water goes around here to get to this bit of water. Right, we've got this connection happening here, and now we just gotta make sure the 3 works properly. It needs to take one of these 2 cells here to make sure that the 2x2 doesn't happen here, so we got this. Awesome. Alright, that's sort of, I guess, half of the intermediate levels done, a little bit more than half. So next video, we can finish off these intermediate levels, or I guess easy to intermediate, and get started on intermediate to advanced here on the variation pack. So I'll see you then. I hope you're enjoying this playthrough of Nurikabe World. If you like the game, please do buy it on Steam. Bye bye!